Hey, ladies and gents, it's Zam. We are doing my very first tank review, I guess, in Armored Warfare. I might be starting to put some more of this stuff up. Sergeant Slaughter from the World of Warplanes community sent me a couple replays as soon as I fucking figure out how to work it. He's got a couple replays for you guys. I just got back into the game. I haven't been playing for years, not probably. It was a long fucking time. So, forgive me if I do something wrong. I'm sure I'll hear about it in the comments below because I'm still kind of a noob after so long not playing this game. Yeah, so we Object 279. I've wanted this tank forever. I was hoping it was going to coming to World of Tanks. But then again, I also thought to myself, you know what? If they brought this fucking tank to World of Tanks, it'd be so ridiculously stupid. So yeah, maybe it's a good thing it didn't come there. However, it did come to Armored Warfare, and it is a Tier 4 premium. I think I paid, $5. I think I paid the $5 for the tank. There's a couple different packages. I think the highest, or the most expensive one is like $18. But yeah, I bought the $5 base Object 279 main battle tank, Tier 4 premium. So, what is this tank? Well, in 1957, the Russians started working on an experimental tank that would be able to fight in a World War III scenario. Nuclear explosions, the world went to hell. The ground turned to shit. So they built this essentially an apocalypse tank. Worst case scenario, right? Everybody's dead, and you're cruising around out there in the open. So, 1957, the concept was put forward. 1959, the prototype was produced of the Object 279. What's interesting about this tank, and if you cannot tell already, is the 4-track system on this vehicle. This was, of course, built for the very specific purpose to have a very low ground pressure and able to traverse very difficult terrain. Everything from felled trees, obviously nuclear explosion, things fall over, right? Soft ground, beaches, everything like that. It had a hydropneumatic system, I believe a three-speed gearbox. That was kind of one of the problems with this tank is some of the revolutionary, but very new systems they were put in here for this drivetrain on this tank with some of its downfalls. What are you going to do, right? I mean, you got to come up with something to make this work. However, I did find interesting in the reading here is that these where the tracks mounted to the hull, these were actually, this beam right here was a hollow beam. This was the fuel tanks for this tank. This thing had about a 300-kilometer range with a 55-kilometer-an-hour top speed. It's not too shabby, right? And if you haven't obviously seen already, and I'm sure you have because you're watching the fucking video, is the very odd-shaped hull. Number of reasons for this, obviously for armor protection, but the hull was built specifically to withstand the shockwave of a nuclear explosion. Something coming from this side, something coming from this side. So they used varying degrees of armor thickness, weird angles, and all that kind of stuff to allow this tank to survive a nuclear blast. Kind of interesting, right? The other part of it was, of course, with this very unique shape, allows some very interesting offered some very interesting armor protection to this thing. I mean, could you imagine trying to shoot the side of a tank that has this kind of armor sloped? And of course, you can see underneath with the UFO body that it had, that carried all the way down through the bottom of the tank. More interesting enough is about 269 millimeters of armor at its thickest point on its hull, which would be the upper glacis here. Then, of course, you can see these rivets running through here. This was actually spaced armor. These real light steel sheets were placed over the hull to act, of course, as a heat magnet. Heat is, of course, a type of round that uses a molten core of usually copper to penetrate tanks. This little extra shielding on the outside of the tank, and you can see it run down the both lengths, the sides and the front of this tank, would eat the heat rounds, not allowing it to penetrate into the tank. Kind of an interesting, yeah, this would have been a very difficult tank to penetrate. You know, obviously, there was some definite thought into this idea for this heavy tank. On the hull, or on the turret, over 300 millimeters of frontal turret armor. Yeah, that's at the thickest. That's pretty ridiculous, right? It was armed with a 130 millimeter cannon with an autoloader. This gun eventually was used after the experimental part. I think this gun was eventually used on a variation of the T-72 or the T-80. I'm not sure which one it was later in the 70s. But this gun, yeah, of course, the project was canceled in 1959 due to Nikita Khrushchev deciding that heavy tanks were no longer needed. Essentially, he said anything over 37 tons was a waste. So, with that new doctrine for the Russian military, all this heavy tanks were essentially useless. So, 1959, of course, the project was canceled. However, one did survive and is in a Russian museum. Kind of interesting little side note, I guess. But yeah, very interesting tank. This is one of those tanks I've always wanted to see, to play with, you know, just to drive it around. I mean, it's obviously, like I said, it's an apocalypse tank, right? It's supposed to be badass. Besides Khrushchev's, you know, order to not keep producing heavy tanks, this thing, it did have some severe drivetrain problems and whatnot with the new systems they were using on it. So yeah, even if it would have been in production, the amount of money it would take to keep it running, and of course the production part of it would have been ridiculous. So yeah, an interesting side note in tank design if you're into that kind of stuff. What do we have in game? And you're gonna have to forgive me. I'm sure I got the wrong ammo loadout and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, I haven't played in a long time, so I'm just getting back into the game, so work with me here. Let's see the stats. What do we got here? 550 average damage, 250 millimeters of penetration, 4,284 damage per minute, and a 7.7 second reload time, 2,700 hit points. Ooh, hull is 270, 240 on the side, 60 in the rear, and steel hull composition. The turret is 400, 305, and 90. Yeah, wow, crazy. And the turret composition, of course, is steel. 55 kilometer max speed. This takes a while to get there, to get to max speed, to get to any speed. If you fucking slow down at all, this thing's like you know, it's just like, okay, you're waiting for it to get going, and then all of a sudden, there she goes, you know. But so yeah, it's a little slow. 34 degrees of hull traverse. Camouflage 20%, 20%. I have not fucking clue what that means yet. 400 meter for the view range. 9 degrees of gun depression. And 0.143 maximum deviation. 1.92 second aim time. And 29.9 degrees turret traverse. I have no fucking clue if that's any good at tier 4. But hey, I'm just playing tanks here, fellas. Bear with me. I'll eventually get all this worked out, just like World of Tanks. You can ask me a question there, I have no problem, but here it's going to be like I said, I just shoot the red shit and you know, watch it blow up. So with that said, I'm going to bring up the gameplay for you, and the only real problem I've had with this tank, other than the fact it is a little bit doggy, is the turret ring. This thing seems like it gets penetrated every fucking match I played. This thing got wrecked. I don't know why. In fact, when I was reading about the article, they specifically designed this with a heavier armored turret ring. So I don't know why in game it gets its shit penned. But yeah, this is interesting tank design. So I'm going to bring up the gameplay for you guys so we can laugh and call me noobs. Alright, fellas, back with the gameplay, and I'll be honest, I have no fucking clue what all these maps are about. I have no idea where to go, so I'm just going to follow people. I'm not even sure what, yeah, I have no clue. Other than look at the little blippy things on the screen, you know, that kind of stuff. And like I said, I'm not even sure where all the baddies spawn and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to give her a try. It's tanks, right? I mean, how hard can it be here? Pick up the Weasel coming through here. Pick up the first one with 604 damage. And we're going to move over here and see if we can pick up. Ooh, what do we got running through here? We got a... he died. A couple baddies down here in the bottom here, and I'm just being kind of a damage war here. Let's see if I can pick up some more damage. Didn't work out for me. And we'll wait for the next one. Pick up the Weasel. Oh, didn't get him either. Alright, so up into the primary objective, defend Silo 1. We're moving up in here. We got some bunch of light tanks, AFVs moving in here, BMP, and of course the... Oh, turn slow. Finish him off. Doesn't quite get that much damage out of there. There we go. We finished off. We've moved in here, taken the primary objective here. Now we got to defend it. Backing up here, using a little bit of a tank hull here for my health. Oh, not sure what the hell happened there. Apparently it didn't work out too hot for me. Picked up the BMP here. Finally get my first kill. Oh, actually 2 kills. Maybe I did hit the other one here. And what we got here? We got the Russian baddie coming in here. Oh, and I go just a little too far down. Get the ricochet at 85 degrees. He is almost dead here. Let me see if I get a second shot. Finish him off in a second shot here. We have defended Silo 1, and then now it's time to move to Silo 2. I'm not sure at this point how the QF-40 lost almost all of his health. This is kind of a fucked up game, I'll tell you honestly. There was a lot of weirdness here. I mean, some of these guys, I think there was 2 of them that did 2,000 damage. So yeah, this is one of the few times I didn't. And yeah, well, like I said, I'm still new to this game. I'm not even sure what a good damage amount is per game. But yeah, we'll see here. Moving up here, we got our first set of targets coming in. We're trying to move up into the next objective here. Come around the corner. And what do we got here? We got a T-64A. Apparently you can't shoot through buildings like you can in World of Tanks. There we go. Pick up the M48. Put a shell into him. We're going to look here and see if we can find... Oh, come on. There we go, buddy. Put a nice shell into him. Moving down here, we've got a Leo 1 here. Swing fire. Oh, those are always a pain in the ass. Put a nice shell into him. Oh, about that time. Yeah, I just loaded the HE shell. And of course, can't quite find my target here. Put the HE shell. Cannot finish him off for some reason. And we'll see if here we can pick up the BMT. Nothing went through that fence. I don't know, for some reason I was having some difficulty with this fence here. I didn't realize that that didn't work. And I was shooting shit that for some reason, just wasn't working for me here. So pick up here. What do we got here? And, ooh, overmatch, 501. Move back to the AP again. Yeah, one of those deals I have to work on my shots or my ammunition selection here a little bit here. There is, being the actual difference here between HE versus AP. So, picked up the T-64 mod 2. What is... He's getting pushed in there by the 72. Put another shot into the bad guy. And we got the Weasel up on the hill. I'm not sure what the hell that happened. But push it in here. I got the another Weasel off to my left. And like I said, we literally just lost 2 tanks. Not sure how that happened, but we are down 2 tanks. But whatever. I don't get this sometimes here. Oh, and I run into the... Apparently chain link fences will throw your aim off. Put a shell into the rear of the T-64A. We got the Weasel. We got an M6... Oh, we got a Starship, I believe. Alright. Put the shell in there. Finish off the T-64. And we got the other Weasel here. I didn't quite figure out what was going on here with that the tank that's sitting with me. Yeah, he didn't seem to be terribly interested in helping here. So pull up, get a side shot on his turn, put a shell in him for 569, 415 to finish him off. Come on, Starship, what you got? What you got? What you got? Oh, nothing up there. Put a shell there. 250 millimeters of penetration. There wasn't anything I couldn't really not pen with this tank. Like I said, the only problem I ever had with it was the really crappy turret ring constantly getting busted up. So, we got the Defense Silo 2 is done. We got Defense Silo 3 here, and we're heading out. Unfortunately, I only have 2 players left. A T-72 and a Stingray. Well, T-72 looks like he's hurt, and the Stingray, he's headed for the objective here. So I'm going to come over here and see if I can help the T-72B out, see what's going on. Like I said, the tank's a little bit slow. I mean, obviously, it just doesn't seem to be quite as... doesn't quite move that fast. Pick up the AP again here. Let's see what we can find. Oh, where are you going? Give me your side. There you go, buddy. Put the shell into the side of the Leopard, and for some reason, I didn't get this. I don't know if this is a YOLO thing or what. Oh, bad shot on my part. The T-72B, we were in a fairly decent hold-down position here, but he decided to go completely balls to the walls here. So I thought I was going to shoot that guy, but I thought, you know what, I better give this guy a little bit of help here. And pick up the shell to the Lieutenant, the Chieftain Mark 5. And now I'm kind of a nice hold-down position here for my tank, at least. We'll put a shell into him when he turns. There we go. Put a shell into him. And I'm not terribly sure about the tracking yet on this thing. I'm pretty sure that tracking probably works similar to tanks. I guess I'll have to work on that. Pick up the Lieutenant coming in here. Ooh, we're getting wrecked here. The T-72B finally figures it out. He actually backed up a little bit. The Stingray, he just fucking YOLO'd to his death. I don't know what to say, fellas. I don't know how players are in this game, but yeah, exposing yourself like that and then eventually going on to YOLO into the enemy objective by yourself. We had a little bit of time to get there, but yeah, what are you gonna do? I can only do so much. I once again still working on the whole gameplay with this game. Similar to World of Tanks, but not quite. Obviously, with the change in ammunition types and all that kind of stuff, I find myself hard time sometimes not switching over to the HE round when I should be using it for whatever. So one more game for you guys, and I'm bringing up that right about now. All right, fellas, back with the second game in Armored Warfare, Object 279. Awesomeness right here, I'll tell you what. So this is the challenging mode, I guess. So is the other one I've put up. It's the for some sort of operation. And I have actually no clue what it's all about, but it doesn't really matter. So I did run into this dude here, Alpha Actual, in one other game before me. He seemed like he knew what the fuck he was doing, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to follow him and see what we can do here. It's always nice to know, have a little bit idea what's going on here. Pull over here, pull off a bullshit RNG shot. Find the T-72 here. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Can't quite get a silhouette on him. There we go. Now he moves out. Put a nice round into his side, and we're on the move here. Apparently we have to destroy the jammer, so we're going to drive over here to the jammer here and see what we can do. I'm assuming that's the red dot on the screen. We got her though. Pull up in here, pick up the, he finishes off the Weasel, and we're just going to roll over here. There we go. Put a nice shot into the T-92, and we got the BMP right here. The QF-40, I don't know if there was a lot of tanks that just don't, players that just don't spawn in or what, or what. He just pretty much stayed there the whole game here. So completely missed the shot on the BMP here. Move over here, see if I can get a shot on him again. Maybe we can finish him off. Nope, didn't get the shot on him. Find myself with a QF-40. The armor on this is, like I said, pretty freaking nice. It does well against heat rounds, and it has a tendency to bounce some shots here. So here, why you'll see me here be a little bit ballsier, because it does bounce shots pretty fucking nice. I'll be honest with you. Pull over here, find the T-72, put a shell under his. Oh, he gets wrecked. by the other Object 279 here. So pull up here. We're going to see what we can find. Oh, Bulldog. Finishes him off. Don't get much for damage here. Pick up the T-62. And, of course, the Scorpion. Oh, there we go. Now we have the T-62 here. And we're going to pull off, drop down in here. See if we can pick up his side. Finishes off the T-62. And we still haven't killed the jammer. I'm not sure what the QT-64 is up to. Yeah, I don't know. There's 3 Object 279s here. And the QF-40 is still AFK, or I don't know what the fuck he's up to. So pull around the corner here. And honestly, I thought that was a jammer. But no, I do realize that's... Yeah, there's the jamming unit. Pick up the shell, put a shell into it, and we're going to start moving here. So the QT-64, he's headed to the SAM site here, and everybody else is headed to a different SAM site. And I realized about that time, oh shit, nobody's taking the other SAM site. So, me being the super slow fat ass, yeah, I'm going to go back and have to take that objective. So, kind of get why people do what they do in this game. You know, it's obviously always about damage and whatnot. But there's probably a good chance by taking myself this far back here to get this shit, and as slow as this tank is, I'm going to miss out on some good damage. Oh well. We're going for the win here, right, boys? So, move up into the flag area. You know, it kind of looks like a boat. I mean, if you could get it to float, it would be pretty sweet. We've picked up every jammer but this one, so we'll pull back in here. We'll pick up this jammer. You know, and this is part of the problem with not playing this game for a long time. Obviously, you can tell everybody here on the map is knows where to fucking go, because they're already halfway there. So, pick up the last of the primary objectives, and we're going to start rolling here. 9 degrees of gun depression on it. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but it seems like a lot of times when I was struggling with this tank to get it over onto target. Once again, like I said, you slow down with this. It takes forever to get back up to speed with it. But for the most part, you know, you're rumbling around about 35 kilometers an hour. Kind of not, I mean, it had, in real life, it had 1,000 horsepower. So yeah, it could make a difference. I don't know, maybe. Pull on over here. Picked up the, didn't get a shot on him. So we're gonna see what this thing can do in a climb, which isn't fucking pretty, man. We're talking 9. I'm not even sure. I think I could crawl. I think I can climb with a Moss. Get up to the top here. Find my first target here in the Sheridan. Put a shell into him. And what do we got over here? Ooh, we got a Chieftain. Mark 10. Oh, what are you going to do? You're going to give me your side, buddy? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Nope. It's like they know I'm here for some reason. Try to pull off a bullshit RNG shot. Didn't work out. Oh, the AI finishes off the QP64. The QF40 still hasn't moved here, so it's just pretty much us Object 279s holding the lines here. So we move up in here. Like I said, this guy seemed to know where he was going, so I I think I'll just tag along. Besides, you got a pretty sweet tank. Oh, there we go. Pick up the shot on him. And we're gonna move out here. There's a Scorpion.
Target down.
Finished off another one. Puts me up the ball. Yeah, 8 kills or so. We have the airfield, I believe. We have to destroy the airfield. And I'm assuming by the highlighted points right there on the side of the building here, that's what we need to shoot. However, the Object 279 behind me didn't seem to shoot that one. I don't know. I'm fucking clueless sometimes, guys. I'm not terribly sure why they do what they do, but there must obviously a reason here. Here comes the Weasel. Turn around. Let's see if we make a shot on it. That's the one problem I have with Armored Warfare. Obviously, with the way that the AIs spawn, it's pretty easy to predict where they're coming from. If you obviously play enough, it's pretty easy to set yourself up in a position to take advantage of that. So, back we come. Let's see if we can pick up the last airfield. can't get it through the building. Go figure.
Well done. Outthreaded
But
Center
just
Council
on the other
maintains
side, of course,
delivery.
is where I get to shoot it. Ah, there we go. Highlighted. Put a shell into
Airfield
hit.
destroyed.
And
Excellent work, Black Company. Exfil
time
the
to
Super.
head back to the base. Obviously, the QF-40 is still fucking AFK. Or did he ever actually move? I'm not sure. Oh, he's there. I don't know. I don't know if we just got lucky that he. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. So away we go, and we are headed down the hill.
Identify.
It's about the time to pick up the tow. Oh baby, put the first shell into him, and then we got the other weasel. Reload, reload, reload. And as you can see, that their shell didn't even have a fucking chance. Or I should say that his missile. There's another one. Just bounces. This tank is super tanky. I mean, it's just ridiculously good at taking shots. I don't think at any point I ever lost more than half my health. And most of the time that had to do with the fact that I got my turret ring smashed up. So moving to a little bit better cover here. I don't want to be a noob just sitting out here in the open. Oh, put a shell into him. And, oh, BMP put a shell into me. He has, of course, fucked up my turret. Like I said, it happens quite often here. Try to pull off a shot. Can't quite do it. There we go. Pick up the QF. Come on, buddy. Oh, stop. Give me your side. Finish off the QF-40. And we're going to move over here. We got one more QF-40 here to go. Try and get back to objective. About that time I noticed there's a law behind me. But, wow, we'll see here if we can do anything about that. Up the hill we go. And I start looking behind me because this is about the time I would receive a missile up my ass. So I'm going to wait. No. So, fuck it. I'm going to go and see what I can do. We're just going to head over to the landing craft. And, maybe that's all it is. Yep. Here comes that little asshole. Fucking knew it, too. So, I just moved out of there. Fuck it. I ain't going to deal with him. I'm going to get over here and get the win and be done with it. So, they're all shooting up this shit. They win the game. Yay! Hopefully, guys, this is going to be start being some more AW videos, doing maybe some tank reviews, that kind of shit, if you guys want to see that stuff. Tank replays, if you guys want to start sending to me. As soon as I fucking figure out how to make them work, we good. So, Sergeant Slaughter, if you're listening, get the fuck on Discord so I can figure this out. Yeah, go figure. So, guys, thanks for watching again. I'm going to be trying to mix this up a little bit here. I got a ton of warplane review videos of replays, so you guys can watch and all that good stuff. So, thanks for watching, guys.